We know there are many choices in internet radio, and the staff and host of LA Talk Live would like to thank you for choosing the internet's hottest destination for the most eclectic sound and invigorating talk. This is LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Joy in My House, inspirational reality radio show with a touch of recovery. A reality radio show where nothing is left unsaid.
And no one is insignificant who says it.
I'm joined here by my co-host and recording artist, Lolita Robinson.
How are you doing today?
Welcome to another day of Joy in My House.
Welcome to another day. Welcome to another day. You've had a lot going on today. You have your beautiful daughter.
I have Zaylee Star with me today, my partner in crime. She is my... changed my life. Having her change my life.
You know what? That's so you better take advantage because this is Sebastian never comes around anymore.
Not anymore.
He's what, 15?
15 now.
Jeez, boy, time goes fast.
Goes by quick. And then my daughter with her baby.
That's right.
My granddaughter. I put a picture on Facebook. She is beautiful.
Oh, I know she is. Okay, well, so good to see you. So it's good to see you at church. Did you get a lot out of what Pastor talked about today?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. When he talks about the David and Goliath story and how we try to do it ourselves in our own strength, where David was more in the spirit world, which we are. This is an emotional and spirit world. It is a battle. That's what I want to say. It's warfare. So for those of you who are not grounded in something, or at least for us, if we're not grounded in Christ, we're going to perish. Yeah,
because I'm facing my own Goliaths. I can't go into it, but sometimes you can hear the stories in the Bible and it kind of gets old, but he really broke it down to take it into practical applications that the Lord uses the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. He always uses the underdog. So, hey, we are in good company, huh?
Yes, we are. I want to thank all of you who are listening and viewing for being a part of the joy that we have in our house. I want you to know that you can follow us on Facebook /Joy in My House. If you like the fan page, you'll receive up-to-date lineups of guests and information. We also have a Twitter page.com /Joy in My House, and we just started our Instagram. So please follow us on Instagram.com /Joy in My House, because we had a great guest last week by the name of Spiro.
Oh, wow.
Who's a Celebrate Recovery leader out of Parkcrest Christian Church.
And, so you've been talking about wanting to have someone, so quarterly we're going to see how Spiro can work it, because Sunday is his church time, but to bring a step in denial last week was just incredible.
And it sets me back to the first step, denial. Kind of realizing that I am not God, and that I am powerless over my addictions and habits.
That's right.
Because I catch myself already kind of going back and saying, oh, well, now I can do this. I have so much sobriety. I've been sober.
Oh, that's so
7 years, gave my life to Christ 8 years, and it was a process. But for me to go and say, well, I'm okay. You know what, I
can handle it now.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, no.
It's interesting. Yesterday, I spent the afternoon with one of the young ladies I'm sponsoring, and she's only been in program 3 years, and she's like, oh, my God, the more I go, the more I realize how much, there's been a lot of destruction. I think we're in denial sometime to how deep this is, that it's a slow process. So I agree with you. We can't get ahead of ourselves and think, I have arrived.
Yeah, because we talk about it in program. It's a lifelong program.
Yeah, it is.
I went to have dinner with a young girlfriend of mine. Mm-hmm. Went and had dinner, and I told the waiter, just get her a drink, just surprise me.
Right.
I think he thought, get us a couple of drinks, because I'm sober.
Right.
So he brought me a drink. It was like a double Shiva scotch with a rock. I don't know.
Was that back in the day?
And I looked at it and I go, I remember not being able to not drink them.
Right.
I remember the days where it was like, send me another one. And when you see this one half full, you send me another one.
Yeah.
And that was my denial, that I thought I can control it.
Right.
I thought I wanted that. But in reality, it was I could not control it.
No.
That was my addiction.
I think she was crying yesterday because she was saying to me, oh, my God, I really have to do this. She thought she could go in and do the 12 steps in a year and that she would, but it is a lifetime program, and we've got to realize this is serious. So congratulations that you're,
Thank you.
It's a miracle.
It really is. I feel it now. And Spiro was talking about that last episode. Where
awesome.
He was talking about him being a miracle, but didn't understand it until he found that relationship with Christ.
Yeah, coming from suicide and what God has done. So I'm looking forward to him coming quarterly, and I'm looking forward to today. Beautiful
Ladies
girl.
and gentlemen, we want to thank you for being a part of the joy that we have in our house here on LATalkLive.com. We have an amazing guest by the name of Lexi Lane.
And she's beautiful.
She is a singer, songwriter, and a rapper. You're not going to want to miss. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joy in My House. I want you to stay tuned because we're going to come right back with Lexi Lane.
Hi, this is Gloria Williams, inviting you to join me every Saturday, 5 p.m. Pacific, for the Branding Foot Nanny Show. Join me as I freestyle interview and discuss how to make your business a brand. So don't forget to tune in to the Branding Foot Nanny Show every Saturday, 5 p.m. Pacific, exclusively on latalklive.com. You can also catch us on iTunes Radio R&B, Radio Flag, TuneIn Radio, Live 365, or just watch and listen directly at latalklive.com. Reality radio, handcrafted for your listening and viewing pleasure. This is LA Talk Live. I am the Foot Nanny, and we are more than just talk.
Hello, I'm Joel Ramirez
And I'm Lolita R.Coppage, and welcome to Joy in My House
on latalklive.com. Inspirational radio
with a touch of recovery.
A reality show where nothing is left unsaid
And no one is insignificant who says it.
exclusively on latalklive.com. You can also catch us on iTunes Radio R&B or watch us on Ustream TV.
Reality radio handcrafted for your listening pleasure. This is LA Talk Live, and we are more than just talk.
Hi, I'm Ro Williams, and I would like to invite you to join GospelRhythms.com every Sunday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our show, GospelRhythms.com Talk Live Radio. Join us as we celebrate Christians around the world in all genres of entertainment, as well as highlight interest stories on men and women who are making a difference and impacting their community. So don't forget to tune in to GospelRhythms.com Talk Live Radio, exclusively on LATalkLive.com. You can also catch us on iTunes under R&B or watch us live on Ustream TV. We are reality radio, handcrafted for your listening pleasure. This is GospelRhythms.com Talk Live Radio on LATalkLive.com. We're more than just talk. We're heaven's party here on earth.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Joy in My House, inspirational reality radio show. I'm joined here by author of Shaped by the Master's Hands and my
Yes.
co-host, Lolita Robinson.
Glad to be here. Let's
Welcome
get
back
started.
to the show. And welcome Lex Lane.
Yeah.
Lex
Like,
welcome to the
okay,
show.
yeah, you got it right.
I always like to let our audience and viewers know how we met. We met through Daphne Zeidman,
Yeah.
the founder of Children United Nations. I have interviewed you in quite a few red carpet events throughout the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And my camera guy always used to tell me, that young girl, she's going to be a star. He used to tell me that every time he saw you. And I'm like,
Really?
really. And I had the recent opportunity to see you at Molly Nicole's book
Oh.
release.
Mhm.
So
Oh,
you
you-
performed with her.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. So you guys are really close?
Yeah. We met on a school tour, actually.
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, wow. You guys are going to be a double duo out there.
I know.
You know what? There you go, girl. There you
I
go.
know. She's amazing.
Well, so are you.
Thank
know?
you.
Yeah.
And I always like to, I wanted to tell the story. I met you at that event. Molly was on the show that weekend, and she talked about her book tour. And I had an opportunity to meet your mother. And I started talking to your mom, and she started telling me about you. And I said, I would love to have her. Can she come on 2 weeks from now? And she said, it sounds like a plan. It's her birthday weekend, but you know what? I think we can do it. She confronted you with it, and you said, no, that's my birthday. I don't want to go. And I thought you were going to say, I want to go with my friends or go,
party or something.
Well, you're like, no, I want to go to church that day.
That's so cool. What was happening? I
Yeah.
mean, church, why? I mean, in terms of, was there something special going on other than regular church, or just your heart?
I just wanted to make sure I went to church to thank God for like another year. Like I didn't want to I don't know. I just wanted to go to church and just.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
You give him the first fruits of your year. Good for you. Oh, this is really awesome.
So when you said that you wanted to go to church first, I knew that your priorities were in order. That's when I said.
And you were shining in the parking lot because, I asked you, I said, who's coming on? Oh, you told me the whole testimony.
yeah.
You were just, he was so proud of you.
I am
know.
very impressed with you,
Thank
especially
you.
having daughters in my life. My daughter's 17. My youngest daughter is 9. She'll be 10 soon. You're an inspiration. And I can only hope that my daughter learns to have a relationship with God as you do, as I introduce them to Christ. But at the end of the day, I can only go so far.
Right.
And we're going to get into your testimony, how you decide to continue this relationship with Christ.
That's right.
And I think it's very impressive. I think it's very impressive. Now, you're a singer, you're a songwriter, you're a rapper, you're a dancer, you're a performer. Your accolades go on and on. But let's let our audience and viewers get to know you a little bit. Let's talk about your family of origin. Where did you grow up?
Well, I grew up like in Van Nuys area, and we grew up kind of poor. But I mean, my mom always made sure that we were taken care of. So that was always good. And I guess it wasn't, like, it was hard, because you would see other people with other stuff. But I guess, like, I don't know, I was always happy when I was younger. So, like, it didn't really phase me. Like, I wasn't always, like, upset or anything. Like,
Well, you have a lot of
lived with
support
it.
here. Your grandparents are here. Your mom and your dad are here. So who started the spiritual foundation for you? I mean, were you a church-going family or what was?
Yeah, I actually grew up in church. So I've been going to church since I was little.
Okay. So mom and dad set that foundation, and grandmom and granddad, huh? Good. Awesome. Did you ever feel like when you were growing up, like, I don't know if this is for me or... No. Okay.
Wow.
No.
Well, Lolita usually asks, but do you have any brothers or sisters?
I have 2 sisters. One is 21. I always forget. 21, and then my other one just turned 13 on April 2nd. And then I have a brother. His name is Sam.
Oh, good. And how old's Sam?
He is 19, right?
Okay.
Yeah, 19.
So you guys, is everybody musical in your family or?
Yeah, my brother is actually, like, he's like my stepbrother, so he's from a different mom, but we have the same dad. And he's actually plays the guitar and stuff too, right? Yeah. So we're all musical. My 13-year-old, she wants to, she's still young, so she's trying to find out what she wants to do, but she likes dancing and acting.
Well, that's awesome. How about mom? Your mother's beautiful. Your father, they look like 2 kids to me. I just love I don't know.
I know.
They do.
They're
They're beautiful, really. So did your mom and dad perform or?
Yeah, my dad was a rapper and my mom danced and she liked to rap too.
Okay,
so,
good.
Yeah.
All right, so you're just carrying on the family business, but with the Lord. See, that's awesome because you're going to have a good foundation, a good. But I like to listen to the questions because I get excited. So
Well, same here. When we have you come on the show and our guests come on the show, you guys have such powerful stories that you captivate us.
yeah.
So for those of you out there who are listening and viewing, I hope you're enjoying this segment of Lex talking about her family of origin, because I think a lot of us, we overpass that. We just think, oh, you're from 0 to 60 in 2.5, you're a great success. But there was a lot of sacrifice, because your mother sacrificed quite a bit to take you to a private school, which was at least 40, 45 minutes away. Tell us about that, going to a parochial school, a private school.
Well, yeah, so we live in Van Nuys, and my school is like kind of like in Calabasas area. So
Wow, that's far.
Yeah, and then in the morning, it's traffic and stuff.
Yeah.
So my mom would have to wake up extra early just to take us to school. And yeah, again, it was like a private school, and we wore uniforms and all that. So it was hard getting there.
And what made her choose that school? Were you guys in a public school, and then maybe it wasn't working out, or it's just something she always wanted to do?
I think it was just better for us, so she put us in it.
Because you were going to that school since kindergarten?
Yeah.
Yeah, since kindergarten.
Yeah, since I was little.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really awesome.
So you grew up in that school.
Yeah.
Did you want to give the name of the school?
Ivy Academia.
Well, because
Yeah.
it is.
That couldn't have been cheap. So I think you're paying your parents back by having a really good walk with the Lord and being, grounded in Him.
Well, luckily we actually didn't have to pay for it, and then luckily, like, they had a program for uniforms where, like, used uniforms, you can go and get it for, like, really cheap, because, uniforms would be, like, $60 for a T-shirt.
Yeah.
So, luckily, we were able to go get through the program and get used uniforms, and so it was actually a good thing.
And that's what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
How did you feel going to a private school with some of these kids that are very affluent?
Yeah,
How was
money.
that?
Yeah, was that hard?
I mean, like, a tiny bit. Like, some people, like, they really have a hard time going through that, and they struggle with that, and they always try to be someone that they're not because they want to live, like, a better, like, I don't know, they want more money and all that stuff. But, I mean, it would be hard, like, if I would go over their house, sleep over, it'd be so different. It'd be big, and they live in, like, huge mansions. So it was different. And, sometimes I would tell my mom, like, oh, like, I want a purse like them, and I couldn't understand we couldn't afford it. My mom would be like, are you crazy? Like, that's like $120 for a purse. And I'm like, but I want one. They have one, you know? Right. So, of course, you question some stuff.
Right.
But, I mean, it wasn't like that struggling to get through, but
that's really, you know what, I think your mother and father, to me, look real. I think if they did have a lot, and I'm sure they have more now, $120 for a purse for a young kid like that, I think the Lord is that way with us. You know, He doesn't give us everything all at once, but that's a struggle for some people. That's good that you're kind of bringing that out, because it's also beautiful seeing these young people. Wouldn't you say that?
Oh, yes.
I mean, people are giving such a bad rap against young people. We've had a 12-year-old motivational speaker in here. We've had.
Oh, yeah.
It's just. Have you ever met him? The young man?
I forgot his name, but I perform
Gil.
with him. Yeah. He's a really good
Gil.
speaker.
Anthony
Gil.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
So you guys got like a little troop. So you guys the Lord is using you all and to go out and to do this in these schools. I'm sure you're going to get to that. Wow.
Yeah, I've done like a few things with him. Probably like 5 or more, I would say.
Well, the youth today are not going down the drain like everybody's talking about. You know, there's a lot of them that have a entrepreneur writing books and all the things that you're doing. I mean, I'm amazed. I wish I had this when I was your age.
And that's why I think it's important that you guys out there who are listening and viewing, engage with us. Find us on Facebook. Like the Facebook fan page. We want to hear your questions or comments for our guests or for ourselves. There's a Twitter page, twitter.com/joinmyhouse with any questions or comments. Our studio line is open. It's right at the bottom of the screen, 323-473-3100. You want to hear if you have any questions for Lex. Now, Lex, you went through some of those struggles of going to school with some of these affluent kids. How did you get along with them? How was your interaction with them?
Like, you know, I was
Your
saying,
friends and
yeah, so since I grew up with them since kindergarten, you know, I was kind of like the popular girl at school.
Yeah.
So I was always friends with like all of them, and we would get along and stuff, but like I know like only a few of them would want to come over my house because like I think one time I brought someone, like, you know, it's a shock to them because they grow up in like a big house, so when they come to your house it's like they're like, ew.
Well,
Because it's different, you know?
different.
They don't know different, and they haven't seen that before, so I could never really invite people over. I could only like go to their house.
Well, you know what? But good for you. I mean, in the sense, but reality is reality. So did you feel like really, really bad about it, or did you kind of like, well, it's what it is, and so?
Yeah, I was kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I like going over their house anyways. So
Okay. Well,
it was like,
but you're talking about some real stuff here.
And I think it's
Peer
important
pressure,
for people who are listening out there, especially for the youth. They feel that they always have to keep up with the Joneses, which is the cliche, that they have to be wearing what everybody else is wearing, doing what everybody else is doing. But somebody like yourself, you were a leader. You were independent. You were not ashamed of your family, which gave you the confidence to say, if you want to come over, come over. If not,
then don't, you know. I can identify. I went to Beverly Hills High School, and there was all movie stars kids, you know, and so it was kind of we had an apartment. It was nice, but it is kind of hard. It is hard. So congratulations that you are shining for the Lord. You didn't allow the enemy to use that. And, well, I'm going to get rid of the Lord and go out and try and be famous. That's going to come. But God, his foundation is a lot more wholesome and powerful. And he does add riches eventually. But good for you. Good for you.
thank you.
I wanted to talk about your dancing career because during that time, you joined the cheer team. Tell us what sparked an interest in joining the cheer team.
Ever since I was little, I always liked dancing. So I just remember walking down the hall and I seen like a little poster of like cheer trials. I was like, oh my gosh, I have to try out. So then I go home and my mom's like, I don't think we can afford that, you know? I was like, no, they have scholarships available.
Okay.
So then I auditioned, and then, you know, I explained to them, you know, I couldn't really afford anything, and then I got a scholarship. So then like uniforms and stuff were taken care of, and everything was like taken care of.
Good for you.
So yeah.
Now that's another. What would you say to somebody young, like you just said? I don't have these needs, but I'm going to ask for it. I mean, you asked for the scholarship.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I guess since I just grew up with God and I always prayed for everything, and I guess like the belief in prayer is really strong, because some kids, they, even if you want the wrong things and you ask God, God won't give it to you. You know, He only give you right, or He might just give it to you so you can learn from it. You know,
for you.
So I know that God, like, for people who are confused, God won't ever give something to you that you can't handle. And if it's wrong and you keep asking, He'll give it to you, but only so you'll learn, you know? So, like, I just believe that if you believe in prayer, it will all work out. So I would always believe, and I would always have conversation with God. Like, so if I go to Him, I'm like, can I please have a scholarship? Like, you know, if it's for me, then yes or no. You know, I understood it. So I think that's important for kids to understand when it's a no or a yes, because I think they get confused a lot, and then they automatically get angry, you know?
Good for you. Good for you.
That's a mouthful, right?
Well, thank you guys. It was a nice show, and the new host is.
Sorry.
No, I mean, I'm just
so
blown
powerful.
away by
Yeah,
these
that
kids.
is- that is so powerful.
Yes.
And I'm gonna have to have. Can you take your headsets off so you can listen to
Yeah,
this whole
your daughter.
interview? You need to take those off.
Wells' daughter's 8. She's like, okay, I'll get there eventually. But you're doing good too.
But I think that's so
Yeah.
important that you realize that, and I think that's what allowed you to assimilate.
Yeah.
Because it didn't matter if you were with rich kids, poor kids, smart kids, dumb kids. It doesn't matter because your foundation is in Christ, not in them, which I think is a big misunderstanding for us who are trying to be successful. As Pastor was saying today, we misunderstand what success really is, and the relationship with Christ that Christians have is so much more powerful and such a stronger foundation.
And then also these young kids. When Molly was on, I think that your young generation have given the younger audience Christianity is not. God does not want you to use your talents. He wants to use them. He just wants you to glorify Him. What would you say about people think, well, Christianity is not cool or?
To me, I guess.
You look awesome. I mean, you're just very fashionable and you love the Lord. So it doesn't mean you have to be in a frumpy clothes or not be you. So what would you say?
I think when it comes down to it, a lot of people just need understanding of God, you know? And, like, when it comes to, like, clothes and stuff and they think, like, oh, like, they're whatever, it's like there's a balance between it, you know? And, like, once you get, like, a foundation with God and you understand Him, everything falls in place. So you'll begin to understand everything and He'll begin to show you stuff and you'll, like, begin to grow with Him, you know? And once you get that, you won't be ashamed of God, you know? You'll learn, like, to stand for His name and you know?
And He's age appropriate. He's cool, isn't He?
Yeah.
He comes on he identifies with you on your level. He understands youth, you know, and He's using you guys in a powerful way.
And that's why I think, like, some people are like, oh, I don't think, like, if people say, like, ratchet or YOLO, like, they don't think that God doesn't know those words. Like, He knew them before they even were
That's
created.
so cool. I don't
You
know the
know?
words. So say that again.
Ratchet or YOLO or I don't know. That's all right. Those words or, like,
daughter knows
God knows Vine. He knows Instagram. Like, He knows
yes, he
knows
does.
what's controlling the youth. He knows everything. So, you know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
beautiful.
He knows everything.
Yes,
Well, I
he
wanted
does.
to touch on that.
That's awesome.
I wanted to touch.
Oh, man.
Exactly. Do you want to switch chairs?
I'm telling you. Yeah.
But I wanted to talk about your church-going family because we always talk about God placing angels in our lives and setting seeds with people in our lives. When do you remember going to church with who? How did that happen? Because I think
Good
that's
question.
important for people to hear that God does place people in our lives to guide us to Him or towards Him. Lolita was put there for me. She's the one that led me to Christ, asked me if I wanted to surrender my life over to Christ. I didn't even know what that was, but she explained it and guided me through it. Who was that for you?
Well, I guess since I just grew up in it, my mom just brought me in church, I guess, as I grew up in church. And then you see the older people in church or you see the younger ones in, like, your youth class and certain ones and their dedication with Christ, and it inspires you. Or I would want to go on the adult service a lot. So when you see miracles happen or you see, like, someone give a word to somebody and they start crying, you're like, the person, like, you know, God spoke a word to them and they told them, and they're like, how did you know that? Like, it makes you think, like, you know, maybe there is a God, you know? So I guess seeing stuff like that kind of just drew me to Him and got me to understand Him more.
That's amazing. So all your brothers and sisters go too? They went also.
Wow.
That says a lot. That really does.
Well, like I said, I think it's important because God places people in our lives to guide us closer to Him. Like you said, and sometimes we pray for things that God will give us just to teach us a lesson, and sometimes God puts
Says
people in our lives.
no. Well, your grandparents are here too, so you have a really that's awesome that everyone is here. And I always say that whenever young people come and they want their parents around them, that speaks volume to me. Because it says that you have a relationship with them, they have a relationship with you, and there's a lot of really good things happening. because a lot of kids don't have that support. So your grandparents, I mean, you spend a lot of time with them?
Well, sometimes, because they live like in Rosemont, so it's past Palmdale. But
Okay.
my
And they came all the way here to hear you today?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But my mom just got a car, so we're gonna go see them more often.
Congratulations.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool. Yeah, it is. I mean,
She's
you know,
she's so proud.
she's so proud.
And
So
you should
Mama
be.
did- Yeah.
And you should be.
Yeah.
But I wanted to touch because you're talking about your faith.
Yeah.
Now, just because you had a strong faith, a strong foundation of faith, a strong family relationship, didn't mean you didn't face struggles. Because at this point, you guys decide to change schools. Your mom moves locations, and there's a school right across the street from me that just seems more convenient. So you start going to that school. Tell us what that experience was like, the change of going to a new school, and then we're going to talk
Was
about
it
the
public?
relationships.
Must have been a public school.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
So let's talk about that. How was
Yeah.
the change?
Well, I know we moved to that school because my work permit situation. Because in order for you to act or be
Yeah,
on
we gotta
set,
get to
you
that.
need a work permit. So if you have bad grades, you can't get a work permit. So, for kids out there who want to act and do that type of stuff, like you have to get good grades, or you just can't because you need a work permit.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Tell them. Because I think they think, I'm just going to drop out
Yeah,
and be a star.
and
Oh,
a lot
no,
of
huh?
at school tours, a lot of the kids would be like, "Really, you need a work permit?" I'm like, "Yeah." So if you get bad grades, you can't do it. They
Yes.
don't know that stuff because some of their parents, they don't know that stuff. You have to get into it to learn. But the new school was different because it was a type of school like where kids would drink, they would do drugs, they would fight all
How
the
old
time.
were you when you went to that school?
12.
12.
So I was in
Oh.
7th grade.
Yeah, and that's a hard years. Go ahead.
And I know sometimes I'd be afraid. Like, I'm like, oh, heck no, I'm not getting in a fight. Like, I remember one time I thought a girl wanted to fight me, and I wanted to walk home because I lived across the street. So I'm like, oh my head, like, I do not want to fight.
So
Because
you
I don't
saw
even
the
like
enemy.
to see fights.
So you saw the enemy on a whole new front, huh?
Yeah. It's kind of sad because, like, again, everybody does say the youth is corrupted because the enemy's really working because he knows his time is almost up. So the youth is really,
go.
really, really, like, bad. But then again, God has his people that are also
You're the
in
next
youth.
generation. The next generation. So
Yeah.
you think that by him allowing you to have that experience, what do you think that you glean from that? How to stand against the enemy, to be aware of what's really out there? What did you...
I guess, it also opened my eyes to see different things, and I learned that, like, I didn't get tempted by anything, I learned that God kept me and he protected me, and, like, I never got tempted to ditch class. Like, if someone was like, you want to ditch class, I'd be like, no, like, I don't do that, So I noticed, like, the temptations and the struggles that other kids go through, and, like, I didn't fall with them, or I didn't get into bad, so I
Did you
learned
feel
from
his
that.
protection too when people were threatening you? Was there bullying in your life? Was there...
There was no bullying, but I know, like, I don't know, I knew I was protected there because I just, after like 2 weeks or 3 weeks I came to that school, I met these two girls, and they fought, but, like, they would protect me.
Hey, the Lord,
They would protect me. Like, if someone wanted to,
There you
like,
go,
fight
Lord.
me, they would protect me.
There you go, Lord. So he sent some people that, well, let the kids know, like you're saying, pray. Because there are kids who are in those situations that are being bullied. And I know you guys are probably going to get into that a little later on, but, you had that sense of protection, so...
And I also wanted
They
to talk
can-
about how
Yeah.
you got along with these people. It didn't matter where you were, like what I was talking about earlier, whether you were at your parochial school or if you were at a public school, you got along with everybody for the most part.
Yeah.
Why do you think?
His favor, huh?
Why do you think that was? And Lolita just said it, but that,
Well, yeah.
I know. I actually didn't even think about that because I got along with, like, the white people, Mexican people, the black people, every kind of race.
Well, you got a little bit of combo of going on with you,
Yeah.
Beautiful. All
But I don't know, I guess I just like, I know, like, when I grew up, it was like I'm realizing it now from looking back, but I didn't realize how much me and God knew each other, so, like, I was just always kind to everybody. Like, it didn't really matter what they were, or so I would just get along with everybody, and if people were mean to me, I would just stay away from them. A lot of kids, like, I mean, it's never happened to me, so I can't really say anything. I can only view it as my view. But, you know, when kids get bullied, like, to me, if that, like, I just would assume, like, if that would happen to me, I wouldn't let it get to me, you know? But a lot of kids have stuff being said to them every day, like, horrible thing, getting pushed into a locker, like, horrible things. And I remember protecting some of them at Moho, and, like, if one of them, like, would get bullied or laughed at, like, I'm like, why are you laughing at her? Like, you know, like, because what kids don't grasp, because their minds aren't fully developed yet, they don't grasp how people are different. Like, if your face is different, if you dress different, like, they don't understand that. So when it's different to them, or maybe they feel like they're better than you, then they'll bully you. Or you don't even understand they go through stuff in their life, too. They may seem beautiful or they have, like, the best hair, the best this, but they're also going through a lot of stuff, and they lash it out on other kids. So, you know, other kids don't understand that.
Everybody's going through something.
And that's what I was going to ask you. What advice would you have for somebody who's listening and viewing out there that might be going through the same situation, maybe a little change or maybe some struggle? What would you say to them, to the youth out there that might be going through a similar situation?
I would just say, like, again, I'm grounded in prayer, so I would just say to pray about it and really believe it. And, you know, if you don't have a relationship with God and you want to start to, just ask God to help you understand Him more, and just begin to pray every night for it. And it may not happen that day or the next day, but if you have faith and you believe in it, God will show out for you and He'll answer your prayers. And just be mindful of what other people are going through also when you go and change into a new school, because it was hard for me because I was super shy, because I went from a school my whole life from kindergarten until 7th grade. So by me going to a new school, it was way different because I didn't know anybody. So I was really shy. So just be mindful of other people and be open to people. And if you're being bullied and stuff, just again begin to pray about it and ask God to take away any fear you have, any insecurities you have, and just ask God to give you strength.
Well, what does your prayer life look like? I felt like what does your prayer life look like? How do you do that?
Well, I go to church Wednesdays and Sundays as best as I can.
Are you in a youth group?
Right now.
Well, no, you're 17.
Yeah.
Right? So you're.
But right now we're in the process of developing it. But because our church is just kind of coming together. But we would have youth group, and you know, I help with watching kids and stuff, and then we had like movie nights and stuff. So yeah, I was with the youth, and I just pray at home in the morning.
You have like a Bible
night.
time, kind of like to encourage these kids how to get started. You have like a Bible time, or
I read the whole Bible already.
But wow, you're gonna be a pastor, I think.
But
wow, your father's going.
But I'm reading it again, and how I scheduled it was.
Wow.
I mean, there's a scheduler in the back of the Bible if you want to go by that, but I just begin to do it in the morning and night, because I remember I got inspired from a pastor that came to our church, and I don't know what story it is, but it's a story in the Bible about how this young boy, his mom and his dad and his brother would go out, you know, to celebrations, and he would stay home and he would read the Bible and talk to God morning and night, and God was really impressed. So it always shed light to me when, like, God was happy and when God was mad with something, so I know what's right and what's wrong.
So you just talk to him like a friend.
So just talk to him like a friend, and just begin to read the Bible morning and night, and even if it's one chapter, whatever it is, just begin to read it, and then once you get to know God more, He'll expand it, and you'll get the flow of reading it and stuff.
Lexi, that's good. I just felt like because you're talking to these kids, and you say, well, how do I get started? How do I do it? What do I do? And you just gave them a place to start. Would you suggest that the young people get involved with a youth group? Or get involved with dance, or get involved with, because we got to get to your talent stuff, you know?
Yeah. I would definitely suggest, like, if you, again, make sure you go to the right church too, because not every church is right.
There you go.
There's some that are right and some that aren't right, but just ask God for discernment, and discernment is like, He lets you know what's good and what's bad, and you feel certain stuff, so you'll know what's good and what's bad, and who's talking, if it's God or the enemy, and you'll begin to see certain situations, if it's good or bad. But just make sure you go to the right church, and it's important to get in the youth, if they have a youth, because not everybody's perfect, and those kids are also going through something like you are. And maybe some of them, you know, they want to get closer to God. Maybe some of them don't. But then they're going and they're going to begin to develop something with God and grow. So if you relate to either one of those situations, you'll relate to one of the other kids, and you guys will share the journey together, and it will be like important, you know, because the other kids
We're just gonna go home.
the other kids at schools are different from church kids, you know. Even if they don't want to go to church and they don't like God, they're still around the Spirit and they're still around God. So it changes them, rather than being at home and you don't know God and you're not even in His sanctuary, you know. So it's just different.
It is different, and you said that beautifully.
Thank you.
We're gonna touch on some of your accolades before we run out of too much time.
Yeah,
so I wanted to touch, because I know that you rap. Now, your sister sings, and your mom actually asked you, as she was going to a pop school, if you would like to sing, to rap. And you said yes, and she saw a talent in you before this, but she asked you, and it just took off. Tell us what that experience was like.
You're rapping.
So, my sister, I've been growing up.
Is she?
She's an R&B singer, like a soulful singer. And as I grew up, I always saw her. She was in and out of groups. She was always in music with something, and I would always just sit there and be like, oh my gosh. Like, it always interests my attention. Of course, when I was young, I didn't understand it. But then she went to a thing called pop school.
Where's that?
It's no longer here, but it was a school in North Hollywood at the AM studio. And it was just a weekend where kids would go, and they would go like, and you would record, you would sing, and then you would go to performing class, writing class, piano. Like, it was an all-day dance class. It was like an all-day thing of just like entertainment.
Good for them. They good. Thumb up. Okay, Dad. You know, your dad is so proud, and your mom. I mean, this is this is awesome. Go ahead.
And so I would go with her to pop school, and she actually got a scholarship. So that was also a blessing, you know, for her to actually be able to go for free. So since we knew the guy, like, you know, I'd be able to go in the dance class for free or go sit in the rooms and just watch, you know. So as I was around that, like, I don't know, I was just, like, amazed by it. So one day my sister got, like, this CD of instrumentals, and then I went home and I was like, I have to write to this. Like,
wow.
I was like, I don't know, I'm probably like 12 or 11 or something. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have to write to this. But like, I was frustrated because I couldn't write. So that showed me a little bit that I wanted to do something with music. And then one day, like, I don't know, I always like rap music because I grew up and stuff with it. And I would always practice on like, if it was like Nicki's instrumentals or Lil Wayne or whatever it is, I would go and I would do the instrumental of it, you know?
You mean just practice to it, just talk to it, talk with it, or, you know?
And yeah, I would do that, and then my mom was like, you actually sound good.
Yeah, really. I don't think everybody,
So then she was like, you want to try it? And I was like, sure. And then I went in the studio with this producer that my mom grew up with. And then, it just came naturally. I think
there was some acting too, right? Before
that, I did acting.
Yeah, right before that, you were casted in American dance film Battlefield America, which is from the producers from You Got Served.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Shit, this is too. Can I have your autograph? Molly, I took Molly's book from my little 8-year-old niece. I mean, you guys are inspiring.
That's an amazing book.
Yeah, really. So you auditioned for that as dancer. You were dancing.
And then I acted a little bit in it. But I didn't have any lines, but like just acting like in the back, and then be like, stuff like that. But it was mostly dancing for me, and it was fun.
Well, I want to touch on this before we go to a commercial break, because you also toured with Mindless Behavior, and you did you do a music video, or were you toured with Tiger?
I opened up for Tiger once.
Wow. How long was that?
That was when I was 13. So.
Yeah, but how long was the set?
Oh, how long was the set? 15 minutes? 15
Good for you. And you were rapping and, you know, doing your thing. This is awesome. And we're going to get to hear a little bit, huh?
I mean, I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joy in My House. I want you to stay tuned, because when we come back, Lex is going to perform live, and she's going to talk about her rapping career taking off. You're not going to want to miss. This is Joy in My House, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to stay tuned, because we're going to come right back.
Hi, this is Marsha Waiteka, inviting you to join me every Monday at 1 p.m. for Born to Talk, where conversation plus connections equal community. Starting Monday, April the 13th, be sure to tune in to Born to Talk with Marsha Waiteka, Mondays at 1 p.m. Pacific, exclusively on latalklive.com. You can also listen live at iTunes Radio R&B, TuneIn Radio, Radio Flag, Live 365, or AHA Radio. This is Reality Radio, handcrafted for your listening and viewing pleasure. We are LA Talk Live, and we are born to talk.
Hi, this is Dick and Sharon, inviting you to join us every Monday at 3 Pacific for LA Progressive Live.
Join us as we cover the progressive landscape both locally and across the nation.
So don't forget to tune in to LA Progressive Live every Monday at 3 Pacific.
Exclusively on latalklive.com. You can also catch us on iTunes Radio R&B, Radio Flag, TuneIn Radio, Live 365, AHA Radio, TiVo Radio, and Apple TV Radio.
Or just watch and listen directly at latalklive.com and LA Progressive Live. Reality radio handcrafted for your listening and viewing pleasure.
This is LA Talk Live and LA Progressive Live. We are more than just talk.
Hi, this is Michael Carson, inviting you to join me every Tuesday from 1 to 2 p.m. Pacific for See It Clearly. Join me as we discuss the topics of health, relationships, and the latest in life-improving information. So don't forget to tune in to See It Clearly Tuesdays from 1 to 2 p.m. Pacific, exclusively on latalklive.com. You can also catch us on iTunes Radio and R&B, Radio Flag, TuneIn Radio, Live 365, or just watch and listen directly at latalklive.com. Reality radio handcrafted for your listening and viewing pleasure. This is LA Talk Live, and we are more than just talk.
Hey everybody, it's your man Sabir Bey, back on your airwaves, inviting you to join us every Tuesday, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on the Sabir Bey Show, discussing history, law, and hip-hop. Every Tuesday, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, the Sabir Bey Show, exclusively on latalklive.com. You also can catch us on iTunes Radio and R&B, Live 365, Radio Flag, and now Stitcher Radio. Or watch us and listen directly at latalklive.com. Reality radio, handcrafted for your listening pleasure. This is LA Talk Live, and we are more than just talk.
Hi, this is Dr. Levi, your fitness doctor, making a personal house call, inviting you to join me Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific for my all-new show, The Dr. Levi Show. Join us as we discuss fitness, health, and well-being, including emotional and spiritual health. So don't forget to tune in to The Dr. Levi Show every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific, exclusively on latalklive.com and the Talk Live Broadcast Network. You can also catch us on iTunes, Radio R&B, or watch us on Ustream.tv, or catch us on the Live 365 network, and now on Radio Flag and Stitcher Radio. Reality radio handcrafted for your listening pleasure. This is LA Talk Live, and we are more than just talk.
Hello, I'm Joel Ramirez.
And I'm Lolita R.Coppage, and welcome to Joy in My House
On latalklive.com. Inspirational radio
with a touch of recovery.
A reality show where nothing is left unsaid.
And no one is insignificant who says it.
Exclusively on latalklive.com. You can also catch us on iTunes Radio R&B or watch us on Ustream TV.
Reality radio handcrafted for your listening pleasure. This is LA Talk Live, and we are more than just talk.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Joy in My House, inspirational reality radio show with a touch of recovery. a reality radio show where nothing is left unsaid.
And no one is insignificant who says it.
I'm joined here by my co-host and recording artist Lolita Robinson, and our in-studio guest Lex Lane, who will be performing live her song No Flex Zone. It is one of her remixes, correct? Why don't you tell us a little bit about the song before we go live?
This remix I did like a couple months, well, when the song first came out, like a couple months ago. And when I heard it, I loved the song, so I wanted to remix it and do like just like a 16 bars, like a verse to it, and yeah.
Here we go. Lex Lane, ladies and gentlemen, on Joy in My House.
No flex zone. No flex zone. They know better. They know better. No flex zone. No flex zone. They know better. They know.
No flex with a troop with no ice on. Bring Christ in your back, cold flight gone. It is you be on a mission like Johnny though. Test me, you gon' end up with a. Sit back with a pack right behind me. Y'all know y'all all about me. 16 on deck, I'm still young. Haters mad, yeah, I got 'em. Old school, big old chain fool. Please stay in your lane, fool. Talk fast, close your mouth, dude. No one cares about you. People call me Lido. Jesus is my friend, so when they talk about me, they step up or you zip up. Go middle. Go Bezzo. So special. They what? Copying the clones on. Dudes naked to stay in the friend zone. Hey, just pray for the haters. God bless them.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Lex Lane. Woo!
Wow. That was powerful.
Lex, you don't seem to let us down. You constantly talking about Christ. You're constantly living it out. And at such a young age, you're being a big inspiration to those who are listening and viewing, and to those who you come in contact with. What would you say to somebody right now who's maybe at the cuff of maybe wanting to start their spiritual walk, or be worried about what other people are going to think? What would you say to the youth right now? Why don't you speak into the camera and let them know your heart?
Well, just getting to know Christ is amazing. So like, I know a lot of people are curious about God because, again, not everybody grows up learning about God. You know, sometimes their parents don't teach them about God, and they're curious because they see how God works and his miracles on other people. But again, of course, because the enemy, people make God seem like embarrassing, or like, oh, if I talk about God, everybody would be like, ew, why are you reading the Bible, or why are you praying? And that's hard to go through, because anything that embarrasses you or anything like that, a lot of people want to be cool as a young person, and I get it. But even in your private time, begin to pray, and anything you ask God, he'll bless you with, as long as you believe in him, as long as you love him, and as long as you fear him. And fear him meaning like, not like terrified of him, but knowing that if you do something wrong, you feel like, just like if your parents were to correct you and you did something bad and you're like, oh my gosh, you know? So like, if you do something bad and you feel like, oh my gosh, God, don't be mad at me, like, I'm sorry, that's the fear he wants. So you get an understanding of his power and you begin to respect him. So in your private time, just pray and ask God to just be like, God, please, you know, help me learn how to represent you without fear and without being embarrassed. And then he'll bless you with that. And it's amazing because your mind can be confused, and in 1 second he can snap his fingers and it's gone. I've been through that before, where I'm confused and I ask God, like, can you please take away the confusion? And the next day I'm like, was I even confused? Like, I understand everything. So he'll answer all your prayers as long as you believe and you love him.
Well, you know what? I get to chatting. I didn't think I was going to, but watching your performance, it was amazing. It was like you sitting here talking, but then another persona came on, just this confidence and this woman of power. How did you get this persona? I mean, there's a total different personality, the same spirit, but it was like, whoa.
It's crazy because I just know that God just handed it to me, because, you know, I started as a dancer, but I don't know, like I'd be like, I don't know if I want to dance, you know, like I have a passion for it, but I didn't know if like I didn't see myself being a dancer when I'm older. So then when I started rapping, like that's why it's like it blows my mind because I don't even understand myself. The first time I ever performed was at my cousin and then my other it was a girl named River, Anaya, and Luisa, and there was a friend, like my two cousins, and they asked me to perform at their party, and I was like, okay, cool. And I was so nervous, and when I went on stage, like, it's weird. I don't know, it just came naturally. And I just went on stage, and I just did my thing. And again, you grow as you grow up, you know, you begin to expand your talent. And so, yeah, it just kind of...
Well, it is amazing to your testimony that you now, because of God's gift that he's given you, opened up for Tyga. I mean, that is from black to white.
Yeah.
I did want you to give a plug. I want you to tell the audience and viewers who are listening and viewing where they can find out more information. Let them know your website, your Twitter, your YouTube, and your Facebook. That way they can follow you.
Okay. You can follow me on Twitter at I am Lex Lane. YouTube is I am Lex Lane. Instagram is I am Lex Lane. And my website is iamlexlane.com.
So for more information, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to go out, find out more information. Now you're working on new music now?
Yes.
Why don't you tell us what that experience is like right now? Now being where you are in your life and in your successes, what is it that we have we have to look forward to with your new music?
I'm definitely working on like a new sound. And
what do you mean? Just more
like my style and just like the type of music. So like when we go in the studio and you make a beat, like just like who has a like Ray Shrimmer is this new 2-boy group, and they created it's like a trap sound they have, but it's like a whole new sound. So I'm working on a new sound, like a new type of music, you know, for my fans. And so I'm just working on new music and new concept videos to drop, and
Well, so we got to ask you, the name of the show is called Joy in My House, the joy that we have in the midst of our challenges, in the midst of our praise. So, Lex, we got to ask you, what does joy in my house mean to you in today's day and age?
Joy in my house, I remember I asked you before because I was confused, but joy in my house to me is, I mean, to some people, like you said, it's different views. It can be in your actual house, but how I perceive it is joy in my house is like joy in my temple and in my heart and in my spirit is God. So that's the joy in my house, and without him, I feel like I can do nothing. So he's the joy in my house.
Beautiful.
Amen. You're going to close us out today with one of your performances.
Yes.
To Fly.
Yes.
This is an original. Tell us a little bit about this music before you perform it live.
I recorded To Fly about 2 years ago, and I keep performing it because a lot of people actually ended up liking it. And it was like a single that I did just to not release on the radio, but just to have a single out for my fans and just to have like a dope video on YouTube and stuff. So yeah, a lot of people like love this song, so I
here
keep
it
performing
is.
it.
Lex Lane, To Fly, her original on Joy in My House.
I got my J's on, yeah, I'm looking fresh. 2 chains on, yeah, I'm on deck. They be looking, try to step, turn up to the slap side. 2 fly form, 2 fly form, 2 fly to 2 fly form. On the scene, they be dripping out sweat, passing out mouths up a wall, pause, snap, pull out your camera, flashing like a Kodiak, about to take it over. You know what it is, your girl over here, top 10, top notch, knocking with the trend that's up, but I don't do the most, cause I does this minimum. Denim, got haters in the block, but they just haters got that venom. I do skillfully, right patiently, I never know what's in them. Dope on my necklace, killing all your set list. Tricky gold chain, cause I'm on it like your business. Got my J's on, yeah, I'm looking fresh. 2 chains on, yeah, I'm on deck. Nah, turn up to the slap side. 2 fly form, 2 fly form, 2 fly to 2 fly form. Nah, turn up to the slap side. too fly for 'em, too fly for 'em, too fly, too fly for 'em.
Tripping cause I'm fly, they tripping
Cause I'm fly, they wanna be with me cause they know I'm flying Call it what you want, but I know I got it cause I'm on the throne. My presence is crazy, they all be like, wouldn't be here if I thought that my fans weren't loyal. Silly with it, I'm digging with it, dancing like I want cause I'm living with it. Spit how I spit cause I spit, don't need assistance, better listen to this. I'm a beast, I'm a monster, I surely do conquer, about to go bonkers. Pull up your what? Got my J's on, yeah I'm looking fresh. 2 chains on, yeah I'm dead. Nah, turn up to the slap side. Too fly for 'em, too fly for 'em, too fly, too fly for 'em. What? Got boys going so far, where y'all stay back and talk. Yeah, I'm that side. Luminous time is a killer, so I'm gon' be that thriller. Building up like a builder, I'm never unfamiliar. My underwear is rare, that's why you are aware. Pull up, hop out, show out. Oh, kill 'em, tell 'em, act right. Got my chains on, yeah I'm looking fresh. Yeah I'm on dead. Nah, turn up to the slap side. Too fly for 'em, too fly for 'em, too fly, too fly for 'em. Nah, turn up to the slap side. Too fly for 'em, too fly for 'em, too fly, too fly for 'em. Whoa, thank
Lex
you.
Lane, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to find her on Facebook / I am Lex Lane. I want you to follow her on Twitter / I am Lex Lane. Her Facebook fan page is I am Lex Lane. Her Instagram at I am Lex Lane. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joy in my house. I want you to catch us live every Sunday here at noon with life-changing stories of hope, faith, and talent that will inspire you. Lex Lane, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you.
You guys have a blessed day.
Thank you.
I stay, I know I can rest my head, cause I'm a wordsmith, living lead. Don't waste no time, don't waste no breath, cause I'm a wordsmith.